Good morning, comrades. Welcome aboard of this amazing 996 Turbo. I'm joined today by
Carrera 4S. It's not turbo.
Let's do it again.
I'm not that rich.
We'll talk about it in a bit. It's early. It's my first lap of the day. But anyhow, we are rolling through the Nurburgring car park. Why are we having helmets on? Is it because am I feeling unsafe with this man driving? Maybe, I don't know. Actually not. Or maybe he's just driving very fast. No, actually we're going to take it easy. But it is track day. Is it today DN or is it Ringmeister?
DN.
It's DN.
Destination Nürburgring.
Yes, okay. So it is Destination Nürburgring. There's also a distinction between DN and Ringmeister Prime, correct?
Yep,
maybe you
correct.
can tell us more about it. Maybe first you can introduce yourself.
Hi.
Let's start with that.
So my name is Darren Langeveld and I am the man behind Destination Nürburgring.
Woohoo.
So we're organising track days for 10 years here on the Nordschleife and having a great time with some great customers.
Nice. That's a very nice description. I believe we know each other for like 6 years by now, 7 years.
It's a long time, yeah.
Something like that.
Long time.
Yeah.
Why aren't we married yet?
Why?
I'm already married. That's why.
That's why. Are you married to? Well, you have actually multiple wives, and they're all French, I heard. And now you're cheating with a German, huh?
I am cheating with a German. I have got a bit of a French kink, but we won't talk about that now.
No?
No.
Why? I think that's what people would want to hear and know, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few Peugeot 205s. And, I really enjoy using them on track. Mm-hmm. And on the road. And they're young timers, actually. Restore a few of them. Just enjoy them for, kind of bimbling around. They're fantastic little cars. And worth a lot of money now as well, which is another reason to do it.
That's a good investment.
Yeah.
So, according to this man, don't invest in Tesla, invest in Peugeot, right?
Old, chunky Peugeots.
Right. So, we are going for a lap. And I want to say that in all those 6 or 7 years that we've known each other, we've never been on a lap together. So, it's a very unique... unique thing that we're doing right now. It makes me feel kind of emotional. Even raining, we can maybe play some Phil Collins. If you would listen to music on a lap, what would it be?
On a lap, I think it would be 10cc, I'm Not in Love.
Okay. I would insert a fragment in there, but then YouTube would gonna block the video in some countries, so let's not do that. Well, while we are doing a lap, when was your first lap actually?
I came to the Nürburgring in about 2005, and the Nürburgring Nordschleife was the first track I ever drove, and it was in a caterum.
Oh, wow.
And my brother and I turned up for an old-timers weekend in our caterum, camping, and came and did the Nordschleife, which at the time, back then, there wasn't much information about the Nürburgring, and you couldn't even get like a 3G data signal, and so it was very mysterious.
Sometimes you still cannot, especially in Collinhart, because Colin is hard there.
Yeah. But, and we came because we'd always heard about this place, drove the first laps, and then that's it. As you know, once you've been and done a lap, you have to keep coming back to kind of master it. So I wouldn't say I know the place inside out, but over the years I've done maybe 2,500 rounds of the place. So yeah, it's just nice. I really enjoy coming to drive it, and it always gives me a thrill to keep coming back time and time again. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, most importantly, you get to share your passion with other people, or actually you allow them to experience it in a unique way by providing track days.
Exactly. Well, I had to figure out a way to fund coming back to learn the track. So I started the company to earn the money to be able to afford to come back, because I needed to learn that circuit, needed to learn it. And the only way you can learn it is by driving it, and it's expensive.
Yep.
Expensive to drive.
I think it's the same way that the reason why we started Apex, for example, is because we wanted to be here permanently. We needed to have a good reason, and I think that's the way the best things turned out.
Yeah,
just by when you want to share your passion. That's awesome. So what does set Destination Nürburgring apart? I know we do. Boosted Boris made a video with you, and you say if Carlsberg, try pronounce Carlsberg while you're going over Schwedenkreuz. Made track days, that would be the end, right?
There's just something about the format that the customers really love. It's not rocket science, it's just if you can give them maximum track time with minimum risk, then they keep coming back, and that's what we try to do. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I know there are two types of people probably at the Nürburgring. Well, there are multiple types of people, but regarding track days, there are people who just want to drive no matter what, and there are some people who just come only to your track days.
Yeah.
Like I know a few names, I would never see them at any other track day.
No.
They come always only drive here, even though there are plenty of other opportunities.
And you wouldn't see them on TF either.
No, exactly. So I think there's definitely something magical and special about it, and that's I think it's pretty unique and cool. So like,
without the customers, there's nothing. You know, they've adopted the events, they've taken them to their hearts, and they continue to support them. And without customers committing to these events early, as I'm sure you know, the financials of running an event like this are horrendous. The numbers are really big. So you need the commitment from customers, and fortunately for me, the way we organise the events means that they like what they get and they keep coming back. So for me, it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then I believe, what was it, 3 years ago that you decided to start Ringmeister Prime, or how long was it?
It was probably about 4 years ago. We had a group of customers coming to me and saying, listen, we want to pay more money. And so they wanted more money and 50% less cars. So I really wasn't sure about it, but you know, as I'm sure your viewers know, there's a lot of people that are quite wealthy that come to these events and come to the Nürburgring, and they're not interested in how much it costs them. They just want to drive with minimal problems. And that's why the Ringmeisters one is really aimed at experienced drivers who really want to just drive all day with no issues. And on the last event that we ran in July, for example, we had 2 straight days with not a single red flag, 1 barrier contact, and the guy hit the barrier. He did 1 4-meter length. So he could not have done less damage if he tried.
Yeah, that's the minimal length.
It's the minimal amount of damage that you can do around here.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I think I can agree to that, because we drove Ringmeister Prime over the course of years, and Robert has said like this is the best track day in terms of value for money, because you pay a bit of extra, but you get so much more in return, because there's probably like not a single other soul, and the level of drivers is so high that you can be assured that even if you run into a car, there will be no issues.
Exactly, full of gentleman drivers. No problems. Everybody kind of like gets on well with each other. The social atmosphere of these events is really important as well. So, you know, socially everybody really enjoys it. They have a great time. So, because it's more than just the track day. For a lot of guys that are traveling big distances, they want to kind of spend time with their friends and have, you know, the social aspect is almost as important. So, yeah, it's very important not to forget that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, apart from Nürburgring, you also do other tracks, right?
Yeah, we do a few other circuits around different places. Not too much, really, because these events are kind of like so big, really, that they take a lot of organising, a lot of time. So I don't have a lot of time to be travelling around different places too often. So yeah, I mean, we do other places, but here mainly.
What's your favourite part of the track?
I think from... possibly, I like where the gravity supercharger kicks in from the top of the hill. You know, like
there are a few places.
Yeah, when you kind of like going through Vipperman and Flanskarten and
Axel,
you know,
downhill.
Sprunghugel. I like all of those parts of the track. I mean, like I'm not pushing very hard at the moment because this is my road car. Normally, sometimes I bring the race car over and you know we can go nuts, but this is just my road baby, nice old 996 Carrera 4S, and yeah, and I'm planning on going down to Italy after this as well. So.
Oh, nice, cool. Yeah, so it's a car that can do it all.
They, as you know, the 996s, they're not really loved, but they represent great value for money, and you know, they go well. They're just a great all-rounder.
No, definitely. I mean, I also was not a fan of a 996 styling, like many people are, actually. But it started to grow on me, and the value for money, like you said, it's immense. I think over the last few years, so many of people that we both know together as well have bought a 996, either a GT3 or a turbo or like just a Carrera. Doesn't matter, because, like you said, it's actually a modern Porsche. It still has, it's a mixture of being modern and classic at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
It offers the analog feeling, but it still gives you all the comfort that you would require from a modern car.
It is, and you know, the 996, the lineage of the way it kind of saved Porsche, why they built it the way they did, and the whole where the company Porsche has gone from being basically bankrupt to bringing in that early Boxster in the 996. The success has been phenomenal for the company, so it's an important model, and I think over time people are going to start to realise that better.
Yeah,
I would say that because I own one.
Yeah, sometimes I find myself window shopping for one as well, so who knows.
They make good value, great cars. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, who knows, but we'll see. And what's your least favourite part of the track?
The where you have to come into the parking at the end.
Ah, okay, that's a very unique answer. I like that. I never heard this one before. That's a very cool.
I like it. I like it all. It's still, even after all these years, it's still a thrill to kind of like come out and do a lap. I still really get a good buzz from it, and I don't get that from many other circuits.
Yeah.
You know, so it's important for me to come here as often as I can, take a few gentle laps. I don't push. You know, when I was doing lots of laps a year, I'd be really kind of pushing quite hard. But these days, I just take my time and enjoy the lap and enjoy the feel of the car and really come for the customers and the social. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think if there is one thing to name about Nürburgring that I hate about it, is that it ruins all the other tracks for you.
Yeah, and also, like I said earlier on, this was the first track I ever drove.
Yeah.
So where in the world do you go from here that's going to give you any excitement?
Yeah, I mean,
on the same level.
Spa comes somewhere close.
Yeah.
Laguna Seca maybe, definitely on US level, but
yeah.
Everything else, it's you just go there and like meh. Okay, tell us about briefing, Darren. What do we do at double yellow at the end?
We slow down to 50 kilometers an hour, let the marshal know we've seen them, wave at the photographer, it's quite busy, and then 50 kilometers an hour. If we see double waved yellows, there's definitely a crash ahead of us. So we just have to kind of take it very steady until we identify the hazard and get the green flag after we pass it. It's quite important.
It's a very good briefing. I think you've done it before a couple of times.
In this age of COVID, of course, we're kind of getting into the electronic safety briefings and not bringing everyone together in a room for obvious reasons. And I think that's a little bit unfortunate, really, because sometimes the briefing is your opportunity as an organizer to get the personality across, to set the tone for the event and really see the whites of people's eyes, to make sure they really understand what you're telling them. So I'm a little bit hesitant to completely disregard briefings forevermore, but I know a lot of guys really appreciate not having to do a briefing. Of course they would. But really it's the only thing that allows me to differentiate myself from my competitors as well. So I hope we can get back to a time when we can all come together, maybe have a little drink, something to eat, talk about the event, talk about what's expected from the drivers, and talk about what the drivers can expect from me as an organizer as well. And I think it's important, we shouldn't be too quick to give it up.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because briefing is definitely one of the integral. Yeah, exactly. Well, at least
Integrally.
Yes.
Integra.
Yeah, could be both. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Parts of the end, because when you come together, you see all the people that you would usually only see at the end events and nowhere else.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you this like the first push, like okay, it's gonna happen. We're gonna be driving tomorrow. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And of course, in the briefings, I always like to give a prediction on how many of them are going to crash their cars and not drive them home. And at that point in the briefing, everything goes very quiet.
Yeah.
Because they start thinking then, okay, then maybe I do need to be a little bit careful, and maybe I can't treat every lap as a qualifying lap for the N24. And, it kind of really gets the point across that this place will bite if you don't respect it. So at all times, you need to respect this place more than anywhere else I've been. It's just as simple as that.
As we're rolling through the car park, just one more time to show the variety of cars, but they all have one thing in common: A, experienced drivers, and B, very high standard cars. So you will not see shit boxes. Maybe that's a different spectrum you could tackle. Like you have you have a Ringmeister Prime that have like the ultra exclusive. Maybe you can go something like Shitbox Prime.
Well, the ironic thing about that is most of my cars would be eligible. So maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah, it could be like a friend, not only fans, but only friends thing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for this lap. One last question that was on my mind. What was the most bright memory of a DN event that you have?
Honestly, was helping somebody propose by the side of the track at the carousel.
Oh.
So we arranged that during a stop that we would take these two people, these guys very much in love, and we take them out to the carousel, and he proposed, and she said yes.
Oh, that's the best part. I mean,
So,
you
yeah.
can have so much preparation, and imagine all the people being mad at you for waving the red flag for closing the track.
Well, it was a natural stop anyway. There was, we knew that we'd got a window where there was going to be an incident that would take a while to clean up, so we just went and did it. So that might not have been the answer that you were expecting, but for me, that's one of the most memorable things that we ever did.
Yeah.
We don't offer it as a service. I just need to make that clear.
Okay. But for everything else, shoot them an email or go directly to the website, book a track day. It's absolutely awesome. You get lot for your money, and a lot more than you're going to get. It's not only about the track time. I think you could say it's a lifestyle.
I would say this has become a little family. As you said earlier on, there's lots of people that keep coming back. They identify what they need from the event, and they really appreciate it. And for me, the kind of person I am, it's a lot of these guys have become friends, and that just helps to kind of make the event work better as well. So I'm very happy, very privileged, and quite lucky to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much for this lap and this talk. I hope next time we're going to go in one of your French shit boxes.
If we bring the race car over, we can just go flat out everywhere.
Nice. Okay, cheers for that. Subscribe, like, share, give them a follow, or more better, come to do a track day. Devil's Diner is open, right?
Devil's Diner is open. We can get pancakes.
Pancakes. Do we? No, it's past 11.
We can have a word with the owner.
Let's go that. Thanks.